Hi, my name's Bridgette Minuzzo and I'm a visual artist, and one thing I like to do with my art practice is just explore materials and work on projects that interest me. When I heard about the Tiny Gems project, it was about the opportunity to do something playful and tiny, and you could just make something and put it out there and you wouldn't have to go through all those hoops and things. And also it was about the person who's walking discovering it. You know, that encounter that you come across something unexpected, yeah, while you're out walking. And for me, it was like, because of creatures, it was about pay attention to the other animals that we share our neighbourhoods with, you know. And I've made representations of animals, and they're you know, abstracted a bit, to draw people's attention to the fact that there's some really beautiful creatures we share our homes with. I was just noticing things that I'd pick up that were interesting and that almost looked like a creature. So for my project, that's what I've done. I've looked at things that I'd find, and then I've made them into one of the creatures that we share our neighbourhoods with. And that's something that I find really important, that we have to value the other creatures in our neighbourhood. I just look for an interesting shape that might suggest a creature. So this one's going to be a bee, like the other ones. And this one's the bees are a composite of a few different elements. They've got leaves. These are going to hang. Yeah. And this one's a dragonfly. So this one's a composite of banksia and she oak and some gum nuts and things. And it's really interesting, you start putting materials together and they become something completely different. And as soon as you start adding some colour, the creature comes to life. People go, oh wow, that's an animal, but it's actually not an animal, it's a creature made out of plant materials. And for people to sort of look twice, because you sort of look and you go, oh, it's a creature, and then you go, oh, well, what's it made of? And all of these materials are accessible to people just walking around. I mean, I used to do this when I was a child. I used to make things out of gum nuts and things like that. I'm a person who tries to tread lightly on the world. So I'm using all materials that are sustainable, and if they are left out in a public place, they'll just decompose back into the ground. That was really important for me, and it might seem that this is not a precious thing, but the only thing I've added really is some glue and a bit of paint, and the glue's water-based anyway. So I wanted them not to be plastic, not to litter, but to be something that was from nature, that could go back into nature. And the other thing I'm going to be doing, because I realised that, you know, these are going to be fairly temporary. Part of what we were going to do with this project was have something that people could take with them. And I realised that some of these are a little bit fragile. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm taking photos of all of my work, and then I'm going to put these into these little reclaimed building timber that I've got. And I'm going to put the photo in here, and then I can stick that somewhere, and then somebody can take that as an artwork in itself. So you might find there might be a little spider or the kangaroos or the frog or something on there. So I felt I needed to have something that was a little bit more robust that people could take home, but also recycled materials, because that's really important to me as well. The discovery part of it is really lovely, and also I really like the way that it's that we are treasuring the arts and saying, look, we're going to leave this for you, but you can take it, but treasure it.